An object weighing 73 trillion pounds is racing through our solar system at 124,000 miles per hour. It didn't originate here. This is 3I Atlas. Its extreme mass, its perfect trajectory near the planetary plane, and a light signature we've never witnessed defy every natural explanation. 7 documented anomalies. Harvard scientists estimate a 30 to 40% probability it's not entirely natural. An object weighing 73 trillion pounds is racing through our solar system at 124,000 miles per hour, and it didn't originate here. When scientists analyzed 3I Atlas's light signature, they discovered extreme negative polarization at 2.77%, a phenomenon we've never witnessed in any comet throughout history. The object's path aligned within just 5 degrees of Earth's orbital plane, passing remarkably close to Mars with timing so mathematically precise that the odds are less than 1 in a million. This mass estimate comes from Harvard researchers who observed something extraordinary. Despite visible outgassing that creates a surrounding cloud, the object's trajectory remains virtually unchanged. Normally, when comets release gas, they get pushed around effortlessly like a balloon releasing air. Not this one. The mass appears so enormous that these powerful jets barely alter its course. At over 73 trillion pounds, 3I Atlas weighs roughly 6 million times more than SpaceX's Starship, currently our most powerful rocket. This object possesses considerable mass, and its trajectory follows the plane where our planets orbit the Sun. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb estimates there's a 30 to 40% probability that this isn't entirely a natural phenomenon. Based on everything we understand about interstellar space density, there simply shouldn't be enough rocky material out there to deliver an object this massive into our inner solar system. Loeb ran the calculations, and based on the known distribution of matter drifting between stars, we should have encountered hundreds of smaller objects before something this colossal ever arrived. We haven't seen them. As Loeb put it, there's not enough rocky material floating in interstellar space to deliver such a giant rock into our inner solar system over the past decade. The timing raises even more troubling questions. On October 3rd, 2025, 3I Atlas passed within 18 million miles of Mars, close enough for our rovers and orbiters to capture images with unprecedented clarity. The Perseverance rover recorded something moving across the Martian sky, a slanted streak that didn't match the normal trails left by stars. But just as this historic flyby was happening, numerous NASA websites and data feeds went completely silent because of the government shutdown. The timing occurred precisely when scientists around the world were desperate for real-time information. What we managed to capture before the blackout is profoundly puzzling. The object appears stretched out, more similar to Oumuamua than any typical rounded comet. It lacks the spectacular tail we'd expect from something this active. Instead, it's enveloped by a diffuse cloud of ionized gas that behaves unlike anything in our scientific databases. The chemical makeup adds yet another layer of mystery. Scientists detected cyanide and carbon monoxide, which aren't unusual for comets, but they also found evidence suggesting that the environment surrounding 3I Atlas resembles Mars, like conditions rather than the typical regions where comets form. This hints at something extraordinary. The object might have originated from a planetary surface, not from the frozen depths of space where comets are born. Even the object's behavior near the Sun defies what we'd expect. On September 25th, a coronal mass ejection, essentially a massive solar storm, struck 3I Atlas head-on. Scientists anticipated this blast of charged particles would dramatically transform the comet, perhaps even tear it apart. Follow-up observations on September 27th and October 2nd revealed nothing dramatic whatsoever. No fragmentation, no sudden tail erupting, just gradual expansion of its outer envelope. It's almost as if this object possesses more resilience than any natural comet has any right to have. The polarization anomaly truly keeps scientists awake at night. When sunlight reflects off dust particles surrounding comets, it creates a specific pattern we can measure with precision. Every single comet we've ever studied displays positive polarization at large viewing angles. 3. iAtlas shows negative polarization at 2.77% at a phase angle of 6.4 degrees, more extreme than any comet in recorded history. This means the dust surrounding it defies the physical laws we use to explain normal comets. According to recent calculations, this object will return in the year 2026 and arrived at precisely the right moment to encounter multiple planets. The combined probability of all these coincidences is less than 1 in a million. Think about this from an engineering standpoint for a moment. If someone wanted to study multiple planets efficiently, you'd design a trajectory that stays close to the ecliptic plane. You would carefully time your arrival to maximize encounters with as many planets as possible. That's exactly what 3 iAtlas is doing. This object will pass within 33.5 million miles of Jupiter, close enough for detailed observations if it happens to carry any instruments on board. As Loeb points out, if this trajectory was engineered by extraterrestrial intelligence, the 5-degree inclination makes complete sense. It represents the optimal angle to observe transits of main belt asteroids, which have an opening angle of roughly 10 degrees above and below the ecliptic. 3 iAtlas approached from precisely the direction where extraterrestrial observers could have detected Earth transiting across our Sun. According to Loeb's calculations, any civilization positioned within a 10-degree cone from our ecliptic plane could have discovered our solar system using transit surveys, the exact method we use to find exoplanets. They would know precisely where our planets orbit and which one sustains life. This object's 5-degree alignment places it directly within that detection zone. If someone dispatched this probe after observing Earth, they've been watching our world for potentially thousands of years, waiting patiently for the perfect moment to arrive. This interstellar traveler exhibits 7 documented anomalies that leave scientists searching for explanations. Unlike the cigar-shaped Oumuamua or the conventional comet Borisov, this defies every category we've created. Dr. Suzanne Falsner suggests that objects like 3 iAtlas might actually be planetary seeds. Her simulations demonstrate that massive interstellar objects falling into young solar systems could jumpstart the entire planet formation process. Instead of requiring millions of years to grow gradually from dust, planets could form rapidly around these ready-made cores. If this is true, some of Jupiter's mass might have originated from an ancient interstellar visitor eons ago. The speed represents another red flag we can't ignore. Currently racing at 37 kilometers per second relative to Mars, 3 iAtlas will accelerate to 42 kilometers per second near the Sun. That's 150,000 miles per hour, fast enough to circle our entire Earth in just 10 minutes. This speed isn't unusual for interstellar objects, but combined with its staggering mass, it represents tremendous kinetic energy. If this were artificial technology, it would represent capabilities far beyond anything humanity could ever achieve. The size estimates continue growing as we gather better data. Initial observations suggested something modest, perhaps a few hundred feet across. Now, we're looking at a nucleus roughly 3 kilometers wide. That's 3 kilometers of solid material, not even counting the surrounding cloud of gas. For perspective, that's larger than the asteroid that exterminated the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. Imagine something the size of a small mountain flying through space at speeds that would cross the entire United States in under 2 minutes. European Space Agency spacecraft represent our last hope for definitive answers. While NASA went dark, ESA's Mars Express and ExoMars Trace, Gas Orbiter continued their observations. The upcoming JWST spacecraft will intercept 3I Atlas in November 2025. Though data transmission delays mean we won't see results immediately, these observations could finally reveal whether this object possesses any unusual surface features or internal structures that shouldn't exist naturally. What makes this truly terrifying isn't any single anomaly by itself. It's the pattern emerging before our eyes. Every measurement we take pushes the boundaries of what should be naturally possible. The mass is too enormous, the composition too bizarre, the timing too perfect, the trajectory too mathematically precise. Scientists use the term black swan event for something so statistically unlikely it forces us to fundamentally reconsider our assumptions about reality. Loeb states it bluntly. Those insisting 3I Atlas is purely natural must somehow explain all 7 anomalies through natural processes alone. So far, no one has managed to do that. The object radiates light in ways that ordinary comets simply don't. Some researchers predict it might evaporate in a dramatic display or fragment into pieces near perihelion in late October. Others believe it might surprise us once again by staying completely intact. But here's the most unsettling possibility of all. What if 3I Atlas represents what Loeb calls a Trojan horse? This is a hypothesis, not confirmed. Technology disguised as a natural object drifting through space. The perfect camouflage would be to appear almost like a comet, but not entirely. Just different enough that careful observation eventually reveals the truth, yet similar enough to avoid immediate detection when it first arrives. Consider the profound implications of this hypothesis. If an advanced civilization wanted to study solar systems across the galaxy, what better method than sending probes designed to look like natural objects? They could gather data for millions of years while drifting silently between stars, occasionally passing through systems like ours to observe and record. The 5-degree orbital alignment would make complete sense if the probe was engineered to encounter multiple planets as efficiently as possible. The unusual resilience it showed against solar storms would be exactly what we'd expect for materials far more advanced than anything we've created. The scientific consensus still leans toward natural origins, but the accumulation of these anomalies has reached a threshold where even conservative scientists are beginning to ask uncomfortable questions that challenge everything. This object is forcing us to seriously confront possibilities we've always dismissed as pure science fiction. As 3I Atlas approaches the Sun, time is running out to study it properly. By December 19th, 2025, it will pass 167 million miles from Earth, our final good viewing opportunity before it vanishes forever into the vast darkness of interstellar space. Whatever secrets it carries within, we have only weeks remaining to uncover them. After that moment passes, it becomes just another mystery lost forever to the cosmic void. The universe just became significantly stranger and potentially far more crowded than we ever imagined. Whether 3I Atlas turns out to be natural or artificial, it's already shown us that interstellar visitors can be far more massive, far more complex, and infinitely more mysterious than we ever conceived possible. The next visitor might prove even more unusual than this one. And if this experience taught us anything of value, it's that we absolutely need to be prepared and watching.